Hey teachers, it's Nadine. I am recording this video to show you how to use an optional template to organize all of your content. Those of you that are at middle school and high school that are using Canvas, I'm going to stress this again, this is just an option. Everyone knows I've been offering open lab days over the summer, and I've had several people take me up on it. And they were trying to figure out an easier way to manage their content. And I asked them if they thought about using Google Slides. And it's not that you're not using Canvas. I'm going to show you how it integrates with Canvas. But basically you can move farther away from having tons and tons of pages, and you can make it easier to manage your Canvas course. So I'll just dive in. So when I was talking to these teachers with this template, I started off by saying, tell me, what are the things that you use more often than not in a lesson? Now, when I first started talking about this, it was with science teachers, and they said, well, we use CK12, we might have a video. Of course, we have a Canvas assignment, so we would need a link to a Canvas assignment. The kids might have notes, an article. We may have an exit ticket at the end of our lesson, a link to like a website or something else. Since we're science, we may have a lab, and we always have bell work for them to do. So I said, okay, if we have all of those icons on this slide and we get the kids familiar with, hey, when you see this icon, this is what this means, then I started to build a sample template. So on here, and I'm actually going to move this up a little bit. There, that's supposed to go there. I told them that they could type in the name of the lesson. Their lessons had an essential question and the learning objective, so I gave them placeholders to type that in there. If they had a video, I added in these little boxes where they could insert the video. I've had to review with people how they actually insert a video in here in Google Slides. So if you go to Insert and Video, since Google owns YouTube, they make it very easy to insert those videos. So you're just going to paste the URL into there and then hit select, and then a video will appear. That way the kid's not going out to YouTube and it's already automatically embedded in here. They said that they might have a link to an article. Maybe they have a whole different presentation or a link to a website that they need, or they may have a lab. So I put everything that they might need for that lesson onto here. Now this is important. This is not a slide deck that the kids are typing on. This is basically something for the teacher to utilize that they could actually have projected in their classroom. The students could be following along, but it's view only, so the students are not able to mess with the slides at all except for clicking on links that you have within. If you watched another video that I recorded today, it was, instead of having like a separate slide for your bell ringers in here, I actually have a bell ringer template. So literally where it says bell ringer, you could link it out to a entire doc that has all of your bell ringers, and just hide the slides that you don't need the students to see that day, just so that you can have all of those organized. Again, this is just an option. I'm not telling you that you have to do it. So I started to ask them to go through, tell me what you would do for this first cycle or this first unit. Walk me through day by day what that would look like. And so as we did that, that kind of formatted different options here. One of the days they said that they were going to be doing a lab that had to do, it was like an earth dice activity. So right here is a video that's actually of one of the teachers going over how to do the lesson. I just added an animated GIF in there that would kind of go with it. That's why you see some blank spaces. Maybe teachers want to add that. They told me that they had virtual dice, so you notice that I added that on there. They had more specific instructions. At the end of this, if they had a Canvas assignment, then they just took the URL from the Canvas assignment and they linked it to this icon. So that way the students knew, like, this is our whole lesson, but when we get to here, this is a link to the assignment. I'm just wanting to show you different options of this since I have some of theirs. They had videos that they wanted them to watch on air pressure and density, but they also had activities that linked out to, oops, and I clicked on one of them, that links out to CK12, but then they actually had a link to the assignment that would go with what they wanted the kids to do that day. So basically everything that they need, all the content, the static content for that cycle is all linked in here. Now notice on the front page it says add lesson topic. Well, this is where you're going to put whatever the name of this lesson is, you're going to put it in the first slot, and so on. So what does this look like for the kids in Canvas? So I wanted to give you an idea. So I went out to like my sandbox template here in Canvas, and under modules, we've got where it says like unit overview, but then lesson 1. I'm going to click on where it says like lesson materials, and I've actually already added it in here, but I'm going to demonstrate how I did this. So I'm going to take out that in there, and I'm also going to put in here, because basically everything that I need for this unit or cycle is all in that package. So I'm going to rename that to say that. Now, when you're ready to embed something in Canvas, the first thing that you need to do is you need to come over to the Google Slides, and you need to go to File, and you're going to go to Publish to the Web. Okay? And it's going to ask you, are you sure that you want to publish it? I think I've already published this one before. But when you do that, then I'm going to select Embed. Now you've got a choice if you want it to be small, medium, or large. When I was working with some teachers during Open Lab, we kind of thought that medium looked good. It was a great size for kids to see on the Chromebook screen. But you can go in and update this. So I'm going to hit medium, and now I'm going to hit publish. Ooh, are you sure that you want to publish it? Yes. Okay. Now you see the embed code that's going to appear. So I'm going to right click on that and select copy. And I'm going to come back to my Canvas course, and notice where I have that blinking line. Now I'm going to come over here to the cloud, all right, and I'm going to Control V or paste that code in there. And now I see the slide deck, but notice how it's pushed off to the side. I'm clicking right after it so you can see the tiny little blinking line. And I'm going to hit the drop down arrow so I can center that presentation. When I'm done with it, I'm going to hit save. And now basically everything that the kid needs for that cycle or unit, they have all within here. I'm going to be adding this video in there after. So before, when I talked to teachers, under modules, they might have, you know, like 7, 8, 10 different pages underneath here. And they were talking about, is there a way that I could clean it up even farther? Because the number of pages that you have in a Canvas course means the amount of work that you're willing to update in Canvas. So I'm trying to show people an easier way that you could package it. If you had everything in Google Slides and I have it embedded, then the students have access to all of the content, and when I want to make changes on here, I'm going to go out to this one. I've already published that. So if I make a change here and say name of lesson, I know I haven't titled it yet, but it would be whatever the name of that lesson is. Name of lesson 1. Then now when I go over to Canvas, I'm going to refresh that page, and now notice that it's automatically updating. So for a lot of teachers, they were like, oh, great, so I can really just focus on updating in Google Slides, and I'm not having to update several pages in Canvas. So I wanted to show you that option. I also worked with some ELA teachers, And they liked the icons, but they had different icons that they needed. Obviously, they didn't need like a science lab. So then we just talked about, what do you think would be a good option? And they said, well, a link to a digital textbook, maybe there's a quiz, some interactive practice, and so on. And I want to stress that I know that the link says, Canvas assignment. And yes, you can link it so that it takes the kid directly to the Canvas assignment. But I wanted everybody to understand the reasoning behind the suggestions that I'm making. And again, I'll say this over and over again. This is just an FYI. You don't have to use it. But every time I have people coming in for Open Lab, I get more and more people that are like, how could I possibly repackage this? And I said, well, I can make a template if you are interested in doing this method. If you're not interested in doing this method, I know several math teachers have chosen in Canvas to put like everything for their first unit on one page and inside of a table on Canvas. So again, I'm not having, 15 or 20 pages. I'm having one page that has all resources that the students need. But when I looked at doing that option for like ELA and for science, social studies, that was a little bit harder to grasp of just having a simple table with links out to things. Math kind of lends itself for that format. So I just wanted to show people this option if you are interested. Another video that I'm going to make today is another FYI if you're interested on that weekly agenda and just some ideas that I'm going to throw out there if you are interested. Not required. Okay? All right. Feel free to join us. I have more Open Lab Days, teachers, if you want to join us for that as well.